Yes, ma'am.
Hi.
Please stand up.
Sorry. My name is Lisa Ortiz, and my husband and I recently bought a house in Arlington Village right off Columbia Pike for a few years. Sorry, we live in Arlington Village right off Columbia Pike. We just bought a house. Yay. Welcome to a lifetime of mortgage payments. I have what I hope are just a couple of simple questions. One is how frequently you anticipate the streetcar will come, particularly in off-peak hours. Two is, can you please explain the difference between a trolley and a streetcar? Because it's clear there's some people don't understand the difference and they keep saying it's a trolley and I know it's not that. And three, did any of the board members actually take buses on Columbia Pike? Because I do every single day. And I know what it's like to be on a bus where you can barely move and you're pressed very uncomfortably up against people who you don't know. And unless you've had that wonderful experience on a relatively regular basis, you don't know what the capacity issues are like.
One of the major benefits of the streetcar proposal is to increase the frequency of service in the off-peak period. We will be operating streetcars at the same frequency that we currently operate the buses during the peak period, which is every 6 minutes. So 10 an hour in each direction. But the service in the off-peak will also be at 6 minutes. And then in the later evening, it would be reduced to 12 to 15 minutes as we approach the end of the operating day. But the system will operate in uniform with the Metro Rail system. So we will open and operate at the same hours that the Metro Rail system operates, including the weekends. So that's a summary of the operations for the streetcar program. But again, one of the major benefits is that it significantly increases off-peak service.
The second question was about vehicle type, and I'm originally from Philadelphia. I'm originally from Philadelphia. I still have family there. And Philadelphia had trolleys, which were the old PCC cars. You had to step up into the car. They carried roughly 40 people, maybe 50. Contemporary streetcars, and I tend to call them trams, are low floor, high capacity. There's a range of vehicles on the market. They carry from the very low end around 116, and they go well over 200 with multi-door boarding and a lighting. And so they are very different from what I grew up with in Philadelphia, which was the old PCC cars, the workhorses back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. So I think that answers the second question.
Yeah. Thank you. The only other point I'd make is that there are systems out there today that use what we call replica trolleys. And they operate very differently than contemporary modern streetcar systems. They, for example, serve tourists. And they use older cars by design because it's an attraction to tourists. And there are examples of that throughout the country. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're not talking about replica trolleys. We're not talking about old-fashioned streetcars. We're talking about modern streetcars.
And there's a handout that replicated one of the slides that Dennis had up there that showed different buses and streetcar designs with length and capacity. And
Doug, Lisa had one other